Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Below the Line podcast. We have a great guest on our show today. Legacy Motor Club has already made some waves today when they signed some new sponsors, but they're a team that is one of the most interesting in the garage area right now. And tonight, I have on with me Joey Cohen, the Vice President of Racing Operations for Legacy Motor Club. How are you doing?
Hey, Samuel. Great to be on with you. Yeah, doing great.
Absolutely. Always great to have people on the show that are in the industry, in the know. And your job is obviously a difficult one. You wouldn't be there if you weren't the best person for it. So how does your job change from a work day like today, just a normal Thursday, to a race weekend like we'll see in about a month with the Clash? Does your job really differ at all when you're at a racetrack as opposed to in the office?
Yeah, the pace at which things happen at the racetrack is way quicker, right? We're on a schedule. We're on an event, schedule where we got to practice, qualify. The weekends broken up into different events and different, objectives that we're trying to accomplish. Our group works at a little bit faster pace. The shop right now is more of a strategic time period. It's a lot of preparation, a lot of getting ready for the events that are coming up. In our case, the transition from Chevrolet to Toyota has taken a great deal of our time right now, and just changing over systems, tools, processes, vehicles, building Toyotas now. So the weeks are a lot different looking, right? Monday through Friday at the shop, we're typically not that way during the race season. We're actually there probably only 1 or 2 days a week when the season's in full motion. So yeah, I know everybody thinks that we just go away in the off season and we do nothing until cars get back on the track. But really, this is probably our busiest time of year, if not, one of the busiest this January time period coming back from the holidays. A lot going on all over the place in the race shop.
Well, NASCAR is the longest season in all of American professional sports, and in the off season, it feels long to us fans and media people, but it's truly not a time off. And I had the good fortune to speak with the crew chief last week, Travis Peterson from the 34 team, and he said, I've gotten a little bit of off time, but still most of my days are at the shop and dedicated to still getting all the work done I can. And one of the things you mentioned that might make y'all's off season slightly more complicated and hectic is that manufacturer change. And I like that you guys didn't wait till the off season to announce it. You guys stole the show last spring, announcing that you would move from Chevrolet to Toyota, which as a longtime fan, it's going to feel really weird seeing Jimmie Johnson in anything other than a car with a bow tie on the front of it. But what are some of the changes internally? Obviously, we know externally it's going to be a different logo. Toyota's bringing a whole new body anyway. But what are some of the changes internally in the shop and then also on the track that we might see switching manufacturers? Because this is a big change. They were with Chevrolet for 5-6 years since 2018. How big of a change is it switching manufacturers in the top series of NASCAR?
Yeah, a lot goes into it. Obviously, like you said, you see the vehicle change, and unfortunately, with the next gen platform, that's pretty easy to accomplish. Our chassis are still the same. Most of the components within the car are the same. It's really just the body and the driveline, the engine package. So, fortunately, we've got really great partners in Toyota. Going over to the TRD engine platform, those guys are doing a great job of handling that aspect of it. In our shop internally, we hang all our own bodies in-house, so we have those capabilities to kind of take that on ourselves. But just really a massive effort on the other sides of things is with the engineering group. Everything they have tool-wise and their preparation and how they do their jobs changes totally. Different simulation tools, different simulator, different programs for the engineering department to start to set up vehicles and start to work on their pre-event stuff with vehicle optimizations and the setups that they're trying to develop. Like you said, all our information is based off Chevrolet tools and how we utilize those. So really just transferring that information and getting it prepared out of the Toyota environment. That's going to the Toyota wind tunnel, gathering that data, going to the Toyota simulator in Salisbury, North Carolina, and really starting to utilize those tools. So I'd say the busiest out of most everybody this off season has been our engineering department, and really starting to correlate and try to figure out, where we've been the last 2 years with next gen and how that translates into the Toyota platform. The fortunate thing was we got to go out to the Phoenix test in December when they were testing the short track aero package, and that track time just it's irreplaceable. It's stuff that you can't replicate. To have that track time during the off season in this transition, to go from running a Chevrolet at Phoenix, the checkered flag falls in November, to 30 days later being out there as a Toyota. Huge, massive effort by the shop to build the car like we talk about, but also the engineering group. Massive effort on their part to go unload another vehicle and turn laps at a competitive pace. So it takes a group effort. It takes a whole team effort, and is supported by, obviously, like I said, a great OEM partner, great people at Legacy Motor Club, great mechanics, great engineers, and that's what really gets it done during the off season.
Well, it doesn't seem like an easy job, but it seems like you guys have adjusted really well. And Toyota does seem to be the future for y'all. And I see that Southern 500 Darlington trophy behind you there, just off your shoulder. And that win seemed to be a huge part of your future. And the name change, the brand change, you bring in Jimmie Johnson, you bring in Matt Kenseth, the new sponsors. You have a lot of stuff going on right now in the present, but when you look towards the future of this race team and all the great people you have in, from Maury Gallagher to 2 7-time Cup Series champions, how excited are you for the future, not just on the racetrack, but your future with brands, with Toyota? It seems like a really exciting time to be with Legacy Motor Club right now.
Yeah, you can tell the energy in the shop right now. Just, there's most of the group has been there since day one, and to see it to where it was 2 years ago to where it is now, again, you almost have to pinch yourself, right? It's one thing to be in the presence of Richard Petty, and then Jimmie Johnson comes along, but just a totally just fast-paced environment of change and things happening, all good things, right? All things that you can get excited about. Announcing a partnership with Dollar Tree and Family Dollar today on a 38 race schedule. That's not something that's been in the sport in quite a few years on a full season basis. It seems like, every time we turn around, there's some sort of announcement, there's some sort of energy coming out of Legacy Motor Club. And that's really fun to be a part of. There's no replacement for continuing to grow and continue to move forward, and the things that are going on. Certainly, like you said, there's been different iterations of it, and along the way there's been success, and along the way there's been growing pains. But overall, when you look over the span of the 2 years and now going into the third one, I think it's really exciting when you look at what we have on our schedule and our plate for this year, and a lot to be excited about. With the Toyota support, coming into our third season as an organization. I think if you look around, teams that are our peers that kind of hit their third season really started to hit their stride, and that's just a product of just getting your feet under you, getting your systems in place, and getting your staff and your team built out. That's a process, and that takes time. So a lot of these things coming together at the right time, like you said, with Toyota coming on board, and our team kind of maturing into its own after going into its third year. So it's really we have a certain amount of energy in the shop right now. We're going into 2024. Expectations are really high, and that's a really good place to be for a young team like ours.
It really is, and you see all these sponsorship deals you're doing. Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, you guys signed with Advent Health a few weeks ago as well. And you mentioned the on-track prospects. You have this new Toyota car. You have Eric Jones, who's now a grizzled veteran, which almost makes me feel old saying Eric Jones is a veteran. I still remember him as that Jones boy coming on fresh in the scene in the mid-2010s. But you have him. He's won at Darlington. He's won at Daytona. He's won on the big stages. And then you bring in John Hunter Nemechek, who just had one of the best seasons in the recent history of the Xfinity Series, winning more races than I can even remember to say. How excited are you for the on-track potential of this team? You have a new body, and that's exciting. Have a new car body. And then you have two drivers that are proven winners and are looking to be championship contenders. How excited are you when you look to the Clash, Daytona, and the whole season for the on-track prospects of this team? And can't forget Jimmie Johnson as well, going to run a few races. Can't forget 7 times.
Yeah, that's the only thing we really haven't hit on is, we're really excited about our driver lineup for 2024. To be where we're at as an organization and have, what I would call, like you said, 2 established veterans of the sport. I know they're both floating around 26 or 27 years old, but yeah, I'm like you. I feel like Eric Jones has been in the Cup Series for 10 years already, and he's only 26, 27. So, really excited, for those 2 guys to really have, like we just talked about, have the resources that's required. a driver needs a team behind them and needs good OEM support and those things. But for sure, I feel like we have two of the best drivers in the garage from an organizational standpoint, and that's really excited to be able to give those guys what they need, the tools they need to go fast. And having Jimmie back this season for a good handful of races, and really some of those racetracks that just he had a lot of success at, right? It's really fun. Obviously Daytona 500 is going to be really fun to see, but we're excited for some of the other races on his schedule this year, going to Charlotte, Kansas, Dover, places like that, where he's just historically been dominant. And it's just going to be a really fun season overall with our three drivers. And like you said, we feel like we're in a really good spot with the future with our drivers and the resources that they have.
Well, you got the past with Jimmie Johnson and Matt Kenseth, and they're also the present. You got the present in Eric Jones and John Hunter Nemechek, and you had the future in both of those guys and a ton of brand deals. And who knows what else you guys are going to accomplish. I can't wait to see where this team is just after this season and also in the years and hopefully decades to come. Thank you so much for joining the show. It's great to kind of get this inside look at a team that is so interesting, and not everybody sees all these moves you're making. But thank you for joining the show and enlightening us on what Legacy Motor Club is doing. Y'all are back on track at the Clash in just under a month, almost just 3 weeks, and then a little over a month, the Daytona 500 on February 18th. So thank you for joining the show, and we wish you and the whole team there at Legacy Motor Club the best of luck for 2024 and beyond.
Sure. Thank you, Samuel. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely.